Every time he comes home, he pours a bottle of alcohol on himself to mask his scent before he dares lock the door. Even with all that caution, he stays on edge until dark behind an 8-inch steel door and reinforced windows. None of it lets him relax for a second. Only after checking every weak point will crawl into the bathtub with his dog. Even when he sleeps, his rifle stays loaded in his hands. Listening to the screaming outside, his mind goes back to the day humanity fell 2.5 years ago. A biotech company announced a cure for cancer, and even though it cost a fortune, some wealthy people got the injection. They all got infected, the virus spread worldwide within days, and 90% of humanity died. The survivors who got infected turned into night creatures, neither human nor dead. They can climb walls, they're insanely strong, and one bite from them means you're joining their side. Luckily, they fear sunlight, so they only come out at night to hunt. His wife and daughter didn't make it, but will survive because he is immune. Now his only family is the dog that has been with him this whole time. To survive, he has to hunt before dark, and today he is aiming at a deer when something stops him. After hesitating, Will decides to let the deer family eat together and heads home. First thing, he goes down to his basement lab to check on the infected rats in cages. They act just as crazy as the night creatures, and as a scientist, he is betting everything on finding a cure through them. Every trial he runs on these rats is one more shot at weakening the virus for good. Seeing the same violent behavior as always, Will feels crushed, but then he notices something different. Rat number 6 has clear eyes and isn't violent anymore. For the next human trial, Will desperately needs to capture a live night creature, but before that risky mission, he has a routine. Every supply run, he mounts a radio on his car roof, broadcasting to find other survivors like him. His map is covered in marks. Every place he is searched gets an X, and today he breaks into a new house. After confirming it is safe, he grabs what he needs, canned food and alcohol that won't spoil. Later, he is hitting golf balls off the wing of a fighter jet, while Sam the dog sunbathes nearby. Suddenly, Sam spots something, and Will looks through his scope to see a deer. Will won't pass up fresh meat, so he calls Sam and they chase after it, and he climbs on the car roof to aim. But Sam gets too excited and follows the deer straight into an abandoned warehouse. Will knows places like that are crawling with night creatures, but Sam's his only family left. So he forces himself to go in, terrified, covering his flashlight and moving carefully. He follows a blood trail, and when he sees a yellow shape, he realizes the deer's already dead, which means he is close to hell itself, so he uncovers his light and looks up. Sure enough, a pack of night creatures is huddled together feeding, and he quickly covers the light again, his heart pounding. He searches another room and finally finds Sam hiding under a table and checks to make sure the dog isn't hurt. Will wants to get out fast, but Sam keeps backing up scared, and he instantly knows something's behind him. So yeah, things are about to get really bad. They crash through a window and run, and the creatures that chase them into the sunlight start burning and screaming. They writhe on the ground as their bodies rot, and even though Will's terrified, he gets an idea for his trap. He hammers stakes into a bridge, spreads black cloth at the warehouse entrance, and throws a rope over the bridge edge. Using the weight of his car, he rigs a snare, and the key bait is his own human blood. Everything's ready. Now he just waits to see which unlucky creature takes the bait. When it keeps shrieking, Will knocks it out with his rifle butt, but the second he does, an even bigger one charges out. Even in burning daylight, this one's coming for him with pure rage, like it wants to tear him apart. The fury in its face seems almost personal, like it has human emotion and a real vendetta against him. Back in the lab, Will straps the creature to an operating table. He notices a butterfly tattoo on her shoulder and wonders who this female night creature used to be, but there is no way to ask. So he injects her with the serum, and immediately she starts to calm down. Her vitals drop toward normal levels, but just as she is almost stable, she suddenly goes berserk again. It is like a final surge. Then she collapses and flatlines completely. Crushed, Will has no choice but to inject the virus back into her, turning her back into a night creature. It didn't work on humans. Will felt a wave of disappointment wash over him, but now he had a live test subject and a real shot at a cure. The next morning, Will and his dog headed out like usual, but at the intersection, something felt off. The mannequin he'd left at the supermarket was now standing in the middle of the street. He got out to check and confirmed it was his old dummy from the store. Panic hit him hard. If the night creatures moved it, they were learning to think like humans. Terrified, Will raised his rifle and started shouting at the empty street ahead. He fired wildly in every direction. He shot the mannequin by mistake and finally realized he'd lost it. He crept forward to check. The second his foot hit the puddle, the trap snapped shut. The night creatures had copied his own snare setup. He was yanked into the air and cracked his head. Even with Sam barking at him, Will passed out cold. Hours later, as the sun started to set, his alarm went off like a death bell. He snapped awake in full panic mode. He glanced at the dying sun and pulled out his knife. As he cut the rope, he dropped hard and the blade went straight into his thigh. He screamed in agony. No time to cry about it. The last light was fading fast and he had to move. The car was right there, but Sam smelled danger. The creatures released a pack of infected dogs. The mutation made them slightly less afraid of sunlight. As the last sliver of daylight vanished, they charged. Will shot one down. Sam tangled with another. Will tried to help, but the biggest dog knocked his gun away. Fangs and snarling closed in fast. Injured and exhausted, Will couldn't fight back anymore. Sam lunged and saved him at the last second. She protected her owner, but got bitten in the fight. The infection was spreading through her. Seeing her go limp broke his heart. He rushed her home and grabbed his best serum. He injected it, but Sam didn't get better. She just kept getting weaker. He knew what was coming. He held her close and hummed every song she loved. But no miracle came. Her fur started falling out, and her gums began to mutate. Fighting back tears, Will tightened his grip around her neck. She was hurt too badly. Even a working cure couldn't save her now. He put down his last family member. Will had lost everyone. Staring at the empty passenger seat, he finally broke down completely. Shattered and reckless, he drove straight into the creature's lair and started ramming everything in sight. He vented all his rage on them, running them over again and again, but he only killed a few. The Alpha howled a command and the strongest ones charged. They flipped the car in seconds. Will was trapped inside, pinned down. The creatures closed in around him. Right before they could finish him, a blinding light hit. He blacked out before he knew what happened. When Will woke up, his wounds were stitched and treated. He was lying in his own house. He walked into the kitchen and froze. He hadn't seen another living person in so long. He actually felt shy. The woman and her son seemed friendly and had made him breakfast. She broke the ice and explained she was trying to reach a survivor colony with her kid. She'd heard his broadcasts and by pure luck found him at the docks in time to save him. She said there was a colony up in Vermont and wanted him to come. Will scoffed at the idea. He was staying here to finish the cure. He didn't believe a word about any safe zone. He'd sacrificed too much to give up now. To prove it, he brought her down to the lab. When she saw the test subject was calmer and less violent, she started to believe in the cure too. They got so caught up talking, they didn't notice night had fallen. Will told her to kill the lights. He bolted every door and window, but he'd missed one thing. When she brought him home last night, the creatures had tracked them here. Now a tidal wave of them was pouring toward the house. Will fired up his last line of defense and turned on every UV floodlight he had. But the creatures had gotten smarter. They found the power line and cut it with ease. With the horde closing in fast, Will had no choice but to pull out his final weapon. The ground explodes and Will gets thrown around. He peeks out to check the damage. The night creatures are having a feast outside, so he goes to find the mom and kid. But one's already inside. It tackles Will, bites his neck, and whips him around like a rag doll. This thing is ridiculously strong and tosses him down the stairs. Luckily, his UV light saves him and forces the creature back for a second. Will rushes upstairs. The creatures are already tearing a huge hole in the ceiling above them. The mom and kid hide in a closet, but the creature smells them anyway. Will grabs his UV gun and takes it out just in time, but there is no time to celebrate. A roar echoes outside. The Alpha calls more creatures and they charge the building again. Without the barriers, they can climb straight to the roof and crawl inside through the ceiling. They're out of time. Will leads the mom and kid into his lab. The bulletproof glass might hold until sunrise if they're lucky. Then Will sees something incredible. His serum actually worked on the female creature. She is slowly turning back into a human. They watch her vitals return to normal, completely stunned. The horde breaks in. Will yells through the glass that he has a cure that can save them all. But to them, Will is the real monster, kidnapping their kind for experiments and running them down with his car. While Will's still explaining his research, the Alpha shows up. He shoves a smaller creature aside. Then he headbutts the glass so hard it cracks in a huge butterfly pattern. Will freezes. The female creature he experimented on has the exact same butterfly tattoo on her shoulder. He realizes these things have human emotions now. That kind of evolution terrifies him. He draws a vial of the serum from her and shoves the mom and kid into the coal chute. He looks at a photo of his wife and daughter one last time. As the Alpha smashes through the glass, Will pulls the grenade pin. He takes them all out with him, giving the mom and kid a chance to escape with the cure he died creating.